So welcome to part 2 of this podcast. I did not look at the storage on my iPad before starting this, and it cut me off. So we're back into it. So with Vudu and iTunes, the unsurprising thing was that iTunes won in both situations. One with Argo, where it's a very grainy film. It's a very shot with film kind of thing. And it also won with the really crisp stuff with Life of Pi. So that was a really remarkable thing. Of course, Blu-ray, made several advances over both of those. But they basically said iTunes 1080p is a great offering there. And full links in the show notes there for those interested in getting more information about that. Related to iTunes is King Kong. Extended Edition has reappeared in iTunes after being pulled in January. So it's back for those that want Peter Jackson's Extended Edition. It's there. Meanwhile, Aliens, the James Cameron film, got pulled once again. So Aliens is no longer available in the iTunes store. It got pulled for unknown reasons. It will probably reappear in 3 to 4 months, as they tend to do this every 3 to 4 months. The good news is, as I reported a while back, Apple implemented a new feature of their store is when movie studios pull a movie, it retains its ability to stream and re-download. So for those that already bought these movies, no worries there. They're as available as they were yesterday. So next up, let's move on to the next story of basically Apple emailing podcasters. So Apple is implementing new podcasting rules of the road, so to speak, where you need really high resolution podcast artwork, where it states that you need 1400 by 1400, and you need to be able to have a server that's suitable for streaming, and that they note be good for multiple languages. So they note how many languages this podcasting is available in. So kind of interesting thing there, posted by the Libsyn forums. And I got that email as well. So next up today, Microsoft Office. They've reversed their stance on transferring licenses. So if you buy a license of Office, every 90 days, you can actually transfer it to a different computer. So thankfully, Microsoft has gone back on their initial ridiculous rule. So next up, back in the digital realm of entertainment is Roku. Roku 3 is out. The Roku has announced this. The coolest thing, I think, is this remote they have that has a headphone jack where you're able to listen to your music on this remote. So you can actually use it as kind of an at-home MP3 player, so to speak, if you want to have that experience. That's available. They've redesigned the interface, which is available on older Rokus, I believe. And basically, it's going to be a lot faster. I believe 5 times faster is what I heard. And 750 apps are available for this, and lots of great stuff. $99 for the box. So interesting move by Roku, releasing yet another box, and we'll see if Apple responds. They don't really respond, so we'll see when the Apple TV 4 does debut. So with that said, I just want back in the digital content, I want to make a pretty awesome find. The discovery I want to share with you guys is that Steven Spielberg films, they're sparse on iTunes, and you can't buy every Steven Spielberg film in iTunes. That's a shame. But what isn't a shame is that when he does get around to releasing these films, is he is paying iTunes all of the respect that he pays Blu-ray as far as extras, those special features. So basically what I've discovered is Jaws, E.T., Indiana Jones, any of the recent releases from Steven Spielberg have included iTunes extras that have feature parity with those of the Blu-ray. And the most striking example of this is just about to happen with Lincoln. So Lincoln is going to be offered in 3 different physical formats: a single-disc DVD, a 2-disc DVD Blu-ray, and a 4-disc DVD Blu-ray digital copy version. And the cool thing here is you get some features with the 1-disc, you get a little bit more in the 2-disc, and you get even more with the 4-disc. And the cool thing is the iTunes Extra version of Lincoln will include the 4-disc amount of features. So if you buy the $20 version in iTunes, you will get, or the 15 or whatever it is in SD, you will get all of those extras that are found in the $30 version of Lincoln. So what Steven Spielberg has done is he's giving you everything that you would get in the physical version, which I'm so happy that this is coming to pass. At least with Steven Spielberg films, if you buy the digital copy in iTunes, you're not missing anything. And this is really, really cool news. So for those interested in this kind of stuff, I just love to report on successes like this, that you get feature for feature parity with those of the physical copy and the most deluxe edition of that copy. So that's really, really awesome. So next up, Sega has announced Sonic Dash, which is going to be kind of a Temple Run version of Sonic. So that's coming out soon, or is already out for iOS devices. Next up today in the news is that of Apple launching, I guess, what you call the eMac, the educational iMac. It's $1,099. That's 21-inch iMac with 3.3 gigahertz dual-core i3 processor. And this is for educational institutions alone. I'm not even sure if students can actually buy this, but if you are an educational institution, you can now get this Mac. So pretty cool move there by Apple, and I certainly did enjoy using iMacs at my school. Next of the day, TSA has revamped their restrictions to what you can bring on board. You can bring on now really small pocket knives as of April 25th, I should say. You can bring on novelty bats. You can bring on 2 golf clubs and some other things. So link in the show notes for more details on what the TSA has verified that we can actually do here. Next up today on the show, Everpix Free has launched. So Everpix is a really cool service where they basically take care of storing your photos for you. And the free version allows you to store unlimited photos that you've taken within 12 months. And for $5 a month, you get all you can eat from your whole life. And I think it's $50 a year if you want to go the yearly route. So Everpix, they're ex-Apple employees, and this is a service I'm actually going to start using really soon, as I think it's the best solution out there for photos. I'm eager to try it out. Next up, back to the Roku. Time Warner Cable has partnered with Roku to create an app that lets Time Warner Cable customers stream to their Roku boxes. So I thought, what is the purpose of this? Why would someone want to stream Time Warner Cable to a Roku box? Well, I thought, hey, you own one cable box. You might have 10 rooms in your house. Now you can buy 10 Rokus and have 10 different cable boxes, so to speak, all with your Time Warner Cable access. So this is a really cool thing that they're doing here. So if you are a Time Warner Cable subscriber and you have a Roku, your life just got a lot better, I should say. Back to the iMac, shipping times are now within 24 hours. So if you want an iMac, those are now faster and to get your hands on. So pretty cool there. Next up, Google Maps for iOS has been updated to version 1.1. You can now in Google Maps search your Google contacts. You can quickly search for your local places by selecting categories. And you can choose between miles and kilometers. So that is the first update to Google Maps for iOS, and it is out now. Meanwhile, Apple has updated iBooks to version 3.1. The big news here is Japan support. And also, content creators can now publish books into Japan. So my books are now available in 51 countries, which now includes Japan. So that's the big news there as far as that. Meanwhile, iBooks authors can now dub their book as explicit. So I would imagine really soon here we will be getting an iOS update that includes the ability to restrict what you're able to search for based on explicit tags in iBooks, the iBooks store. So that is something of note as well. So lots of really cool things there on the iBooks front. Next up today, I'm not sure where we should stop the show. I'd say the last story of the day is Dunkin' Donuts. And they have added passbook support to their app. just like with Starbucks, you can add money to that account, your Dunkin' Donuts app, and pay with your iPhone at your local Dunkin' Donuts. So that is the news of the week. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of iWake. I'll be back Monday for another edition of iWake. And for those iWake Again subscribers, I'll be getting some content out to you this weekend. So thanks for tuning in to this mega edition of iWake. Show notes available at iWakePodcast.com. You can watch the video version at youtube.com/TCHATEN, and you can buy my book or multiple books. I have now 3 books in the iBook store. iPod Evolution. I have the poetry book with video, so just search for poetry video to get that one. And I have a free book, it's just out this week, The Working Homeless. So it's a $40 guidebook on how to work and be homeless and live that lifestyle. So it's kind of a guidebook for those in that situation where if you're homeless and want to maintain a job, just some tips and tricks on how to carry out that lifestyle. So it's out in the iBook store now. iPodEvolution.net for more information about the iPod book, which has been getting updated frequently, and I hope you update your current copy if you already own it. So with that said, thank you for tuning in to this edition of iWake. I will talk to everyone again real soon.